Hello, Yates County and beyond. Welcome back to another episode of Invasive Species Friday. Through this short weekly podcast, we at the Yates CCE hope to bring you information about the invasive species you may see around this county. We're shooting across the pasture with this week's invasive, Leafy Spurge. Originally from Eurasia, Leafy Spurge was first recorded in Massachusetts in 1827 and is believed to have arrived in the U.S. either in contaminated soil or impure crop seed. It has since been found in the Northwest, Southwest, Midwest, and Northeast states, and across many of the Canadian provinces. It grows in full to part sun and spreads quickly in open areas like pastures, grasslands, and roadsides. It tolerates a wide range of soil and drainage types, but it's most aggressive in dry conditions. An herbaceous perennial, Leafy Spurge gets between 6 inches and 3 feet tall. Its root system can be extensive, with its taproot able to reach almost 15 feet deep. Above ground, the stems are usually clustered and branch upwards. When broken, the stems leak white milky sap, as do the leaves. About 1/4 inch in width, the blue-green leaves are 6 to 15 times as long as they are wide. They alternate around the stem and have pointed tips, blunt bases, and smooth margins. In late summer, the leaves turn yellowish or a reddish-orange. The flowers are tiny, but are paired and surrounded by showy heart-shaped bracts. These are clustered in groups of 7 to 10 pairs, forming umbels at the top of each stem. Leafy spurge spreads through both seed dispersal and vegetatively. The seeds need to be exposed to warm, moist conditions to begin germinating, and most seedlings emerge in the early spring after a heavy rainstorm. They don't produce seeds their first year, but established plants begin flowering in late May to early June. In some places, including the Northeast, flowering can continue into October. About 30 days after the small yellowish-green flowers are pollinated, the seeds mature. Now, Leafy Spurge has a unique distribution system. The smooth, oblong seeds are contained in capsules that explode when the seeds mature, launching them 15 to 20 feet away from the parent plant. This helps the leafy spurge take over an area quickly. So aside from making seed missiles and invading open areas, leafy spurge can outcompete native plants and is toxic to livestock. It can smother or shade out other species, reducing the biodiversity of both plants and the animals that would otherwise use the area for their habitat. Studies have shown that cattle and horses will stay away from places with leafy spurge, as it can cause severe diarrhea if ingested. In some cases, livestock will avoid grazing sites with as little as 10% coverage of leafy spurge. Additionally, if the plant invades a hayfield, the resulting yield cannot be sold, further impacting the livelihood of the farmers. Finally, let's discuss what can be done about leafy spurge if you happen to find it in your yard or fields. Small patches can be hand-pulled. Be careful though, as the sap can cause a rash if it comes in contact with the skin. Larger areas are harder to remove due to the extensive root system and the leafy spurge's ability to spread vegetatively. There are herbicides available to help with infestations, and goats and sheep have been shown to eat the plant. We do not recommend combining those two forms of control, however, and if you use animals to knock back a patch, be careful that they aren't transporting the seeds in their hooves, wool, or digestive system. It's best to let them eat after the flowers have developed, but before the seeds are produced. There are also a couple of other very effective biological control options. 5 species of leafy spurge flea beetles have been found to work against this week's invasive. The adults eat the foliage, but the greatest damage comes from the larvae attacking the other end of the plant, eating away the sprawling roots. It can take several years for the beetles to establish, and then a few more to significantly reduce the stand, but long-term, it has been an effective control method. And with that, we reach the end of this week's episode of Invasive Species Friday. Next Friday, we're back with another suffocating vine. Until then, we at the Yates CCE thank you for tuning in and supporting our fight against invasive species in Yates County.